Hey guys, what is up? My name is Meaghan and welcome back to Book Talk with Meg. Hope you guys are doing well. I know I haven't uploaded on my channel for a very long time. If you guys are interested to know why, the details of my life, go check out my newest vlog, which I will link in the cards. I basically go over it. But this is not the purpose of today's video. Today we're going to talk about all the books I did read when I didn't update you guys. The list is very long, so I'm going to try to keep it short, but just give you overall general thoughts on the books I've read and the star rating I gave them. So without further ado, let's hop on in. The first book I have to talk about, and this is going in order of when I read them, is Intercepted by Alexa Martin. I will put a picture right here because currently I can't find it anywhere on my bookshelf. Very sorry, but I don't know what the crap I did with it. Typical me, you know. This was an adult romance and it follows the girlfriend of an NFL player. This is the beginning of a series. Fumbled, the second book is now out, and the third book is coming out this year as well. This one follows a main character, and basically it's really hard not to spoil this one, but it's basically her her relationship with her boyfriend as well as the relationship with the women in the NFL team until, and this is not a spoiler, she realizes that her boyfriend was actually cheating on her and she leaves him, but also rekindles with another NFL player that she had a hookup with once, and it's all their story, and it was great. I really loved it. I think it was a really enjoyable read and not the best adult romance I've read. I gave it 3.75 stars, or rounded up to 4 stars on Goodreads. I think it was enjoyable. The conversations were interesting, and like what it is to be part of the NFL like lifestyle, and I just really love to see how different lifestyles and different opportunities in life can have a damper on your life overall. It was really interesting. It brought up different conversations as well as discussing your worth in a relationship. For all that, it was really great. I just think that the romance side of things could have been a little bit better. I didn't feel as much for our two main characters than I did, for example, with the two main characters in the On Honeymooners or in Meet Cute, so that's the reason I gave it a lower rating. I then read a Harry Potter ebook that was released by Pottermore. That one was the Charms and Defense Against the Dark Arts. Again, this was an ebook, so I will be putting up a little picture. I gave this one 3 stars. Not what I was expecting at all. I thought they were going to add and talk more about Harry Potter and the links kind of like with our society, but really what it is this literally a history of magic. It talks about witches and charms and spells that were used previously, so it's really like a history lesson with some incited quotes of Harry Potter in here and there. So J.K. Rowling actually has nothing to do with the writing of this ebook or any of the ebook, so I recommend staying away from them if what you're looking for is more Harry Potter content. I do really enjoy history, which is why I gave it 3 stars, but it's not marketed properly in my opinion. I then read Whiskey, Words, and a Shovel by R.H. Sin, which he's one of my favorite poets. Again, this one I gave 5 out of 5 stars. I really enjoy his poetry. I feel like it's a very subjective thing, but I can connect to his way of writing. I like how modern it is. It's very simplistic, but if it's something you're going through or something you can understand, I feel like it really hits you in the feelings, and that really was what I was looking for when I bought the box set, and I just think his writing is absolutely fantastic. He's very reminiscent of Bo Taplin, and I just love these kinds of poetry writers, so really enjoyed that one. But again, that is more of a personal preference. I don't know how to rate poetry or tell you if you should read it or not. It's just something that I personally really enjoyed. I then read HeartStopper's Volume 2 by Alice Oseman, which I can't believe I finally am holding in my hands. I adore this graphic novel series. It's definitely my favorite. This and Fens are like so adorable, and they're both my favorite graphic novel series. This one, if you guys don't know, follows Nick and Charlie and their relationship. Basically, one of the main characters is gay and the other one learns that he's bisexual. In the first volume, it's basically them learning to get to know each other, and obviously one develops feelings and the other one is kind to try to identify what exactly it is he's feeling. And in this one, it's more of their actual relationship and Oh my goodness, you guys. This graphic novel was the sweetest and most pure thing I've ever seen in my entire life. It was beautiful, it's cute, it got me all up in my feels. I think that the artwork was really nice, and even though it's not colored in, it's still like really fun to read. It goes by super quickly, and if you guys want to hear like my thoughts when I initially read it, I will be putting up my reading rush vlog where I read this in, and 5 out of 5 stars, all the stars in the world. I just love a precious relationship. The two boys are adorable, they are both very sweet and kind, and they take care of each other, and it really portrays a healthy relationship and a healthy way of coming to terms with your sexuality, which I also really appreciated. There is trigger warnings for like homophobia, but I think all the trigger warnings are mentioned in the graphic novel or online. If you guys don't actually want to pay for the graphic novel bind-ups, HeartStoppers Volume 1 and 2 and a little bit more are actually online. You can really find them for free, so highly recommend you guys check this one out. The next book I read was also during the reading rush, and that was I Want to Be Where You Are by Christina Forrest. This is the author's debut novel, and I gave it 4 out of 5 stars. This is another YA contemporary, and I really enjoyed this. I think it was great. I just gave it 4 out of 5 stars because being such a contemporary reader, you get like favorite tropes and favorite plots, and this was just a little bit too short for me. This basically follows our main character who has always dreamed of dancing in an academy and making a career out of dance, but her mother is very reluctant to the idea. So when her mother actually leaves for once on a vacation with her stepfather, I believe, or her like mother's boyfriend, our main character decides to sneak out and drive a few towns away to audition from this company and come back. But the little twisty turn to this novel is that her neighbor actually asks for a ride to his dad's house, so basically it's along the way, and they are kind of at conflict because of things that happened in their youth. So it's basically their relationship as they grow on a road trip, as well as our main character, and she grows and understands why dance is important to her, and also what it means to grow up and her relationship with her parents, and it was really well done. There is diversity in here. Our main character is of color, and I did really enjoy that. I also really enjoyed the relationship between these two, as well as the exploration of both main characters and in realizing what they wanted to do when they grow up and what it means to have to take decisions of the sort and how far you're willing to go to accomplish your dreams. So I really appreciated overall. Very cute, very sweet, maybe more of a young adult novel, but still really enjoyed this one. The next book I read was also a YA contemporary and was also read during the reading rush, and that is Match Me If You Can by Tina Smith. Again, another book I gave 4 out of 5 stars. I was very excited for this one, and I love everything that Swoon Reads actually publishes, so every time I see a book by Swoon Reads, I'm like, I know I'm gonna love it, and I really did enjoy this one. This one follows a main character who is near her homecoming dance. Is it homecoming? Let me check. Homecoming or prom? I was right, it's homecoming. So, she has no date for homecoming, but her best friend is actually kind of like the Cupid in their high school, and like people actually pay her for her matchmaking services, and so she asked her best friend to hook her up with this specific guy, but her best friend believes she would be better off with some other guy, so she's like, no. And it's basically the entire story of our main character trying to get this specific guy to fall in love with her, and then there being this other guy who obviously creates conflict because that's the one her best friend believes she should be with, and our main character doesn't believe, and it's just the turn of events of all of it unfolding, and it was very sweet. I liked our main character. I liked being in her head and her thought process. Obviously she did some things which I guess when you're a teenager you think are okay, and like she kind of played with people's emotions, but it's all a learning curve, and I really did appreciate that. I really enjoyed the best friend as well, and how honest she was. She was really a good person, and it was all healthy relationships really between our main character and the best friend. And as I said, even though our main character does do some questionable things, she really learns from it, which is always a great thing to put in a YA book. I feel like a main character who does questionable things but never realizes they're questionable is another thing, but this one was really all about self-discovery, learning to love yourself, and learning to let other people into your life even though you think they might not fit into your life. It's about giving other people chances, and overall it was great. I think the writing for this one was really easy to follow, very light and fluffy, and also very like grasping. I read this book in like one sitting, honestly, and I enjoyed every minute of it. It was very cute, and there was some like secondhand embarrassment, which I think is always a sign of a well done book, because if you can feel that embarrassed for someone that isn't even like yourself, I feel it's a job well done. I then have a reread for this video, and that is Simon vs. the Homosapiens Agenda by Becky Albertalli. Again, another YA contemporary, again for the reading rush. I feel like I'm repeating myself, but this is not Groundhog's Day, because this one I gave 5 out of 5 stars. I'm pretty sure most of you guys are familiar with Simon vs. the Homosapiens Agenda or the movie Love, Simon, but if you're not, this is the story of Simon, who is a not so openly gay teen, and he goes to this high school and he's actually writing secret emails with this boy who goes under the nickname of Blue. And at one point in Simon's life, another boy finds the emails and kind of blackmails Simon because he wants Simon to set him up with his friend. And so it's the story of Simon dealing with the blackmail, also dealing with the identity, and trying to tell people he's gay. And it's just a very nice and also sad journey through what it can be to be a gay teen. I really appreciated Simon. I love the friend group dynamics, and I think again that there was a lot of learning between the different friends. At one point, Simon and 2 of his other friends do something and leave the 4th friend out, and there are repercussions to that, and a lot of feelings are discussed throughout the book, and him coming out and explaining to people that he's gay, and people trying to take that away from him was very interesting, very saddening, but also really realistic, and I just love being in Simon's head. I think the writing in this, again, is effortless and very fun, and just, it's such an easy, digestible read. So yeah, and I also love the movie to this one, so rereading it and watching the movie was such a great time. I really loved the reading rush. I then read another graphic novel, and that is Mooncakes, and this graphic novel has not released yet. At least I don't believe it still has. When I'm filming this video, I didn't really enjoy this one. I think I gave it like 3 out of 5 stars. It was okay. I feel like the pacing of the story was off, and I just feel like the characters were kind of boring. I didn't really connect to any of them. And it's not just like the magical aspects, because I mean, I love myself a magical book once in a while, but I just think it was bland. Like, nothing really happened for a big part of the graphic novel, and everything is smushed in the end. And even there, it wasn't very like there wasn't really any climax. It was very dull. I didn't really care for anything that was happening or any of the characters. I will say the upside was the artwork. I think the artwork was really nice, but overall it was just a standard read. It's very light, fluffy. It does have also some very great LGBTQ rep, and I think it has some other diversity in there that I'm not remembering at this precise moment, but it was a fun read. If you guys want to check it out when it comes out, you are free to. I just think it's not up there with my other favorite graphic novels. But then I read a gem of a graphic novel, and that is Aquicorn Cove by Katie O'Neill. First of all, the graphics in here are absolutely stunning. I have hardly ever seen something as gorgeous as this. This is kind of like a children/teen graphic novel, but that can really be read by anyone, and this has a heavy focus on being caring to your environment. It follows a main character, and she goes to one of her relatives' house to help clean up after a huge storm, and she finds a little aquicorn, and it's about her learning about the environment and how to save it, and how our repercussions on the environment are a thing, and how our actions can be changed, and even the small changes really matter. I love the message in here. I love the drawing. I think it's such an important graphic novel, especially for younger audiences, because it's very easily digestible, and it has such an impact and a meaningful like comment on our use of everything and how we treat the environment. So overall, I think everybody should read this. It's a very big eye-opener in like such a unique format. This is not blaming like society. You're not feeling like you're super judged. It's just explaining that you can do things differently and that you can help our little friends, even if these friends are kind of imaginary, but you get the drift. And just again, the drawings are so cute. Like I loved this, and I highly recommend anything by Katie O'Neill at this point. So because this video is getting to be very long and I don't want to rush through all of the books, there will be a second recent reads uploaded very soon after this one, where you should really be on the lookout because there's a lot of royal romances in that one and a lot of other great 5-star reads. But I will be finishing this recent reads off right now. You guys let me know in the comments some of your recent reads that you really enjoyed, and I will see you very soon with another video. Bye guys!